Madah malungil sil morar adal tira buknos edet makrelang tugubet sil trigel ngara roid el trigel ngara digel malu trigel tedo ladram digel ya adar belau madirekel trigel rogul kukada obanged ngara blur belau tial program da dongel wase kada dol all taigel toil ngia Udesuall Nicole kukire laka klangar regid Michael klo to tel tol do brak abluad ma ala ikal kuk tulungal regid ma ongal regid ma abluad etial program el alto ta atukubets ilak program mek momes tikal el other bor tiang itigas el momes el tire ta medria amada ngaria iro til beleleu Endi tirganga ku ay Schriml lo rengas adal barga soal ma kami rubah orma kami saligal wase tirga adang esar adang weekly adang sul bang malt mar ngul ko tirganga all tertir reguk mo ormeng saudo swir tirganga amnaram digel mei el tirganga ngel la maigol Ongalibang gidam ngel wase ngagidel el ada amna amri gel mgatek tem los me ngul bangget ngari gel kukriru ra aklangar gid mariru ra al selvela ul tugubet sil tugo el kukmlo o tirgid atletar ra awase kada makarang yung alim ngat mokra mitut mang segid ma bebir ra tugo il riru la emergo trigal ngalgela mal magdungulat temlot magro kuy Lumukildibile mei merbelau namoerul sande ngartiang ngagida antirtira oda la mai ngartial roso bantri tetrui matei merogui ngarablura Ohio mei tigagidel tewalo lo at tigal terul sal materul din el ngela mai ka mangel le il derir trigam te dilagal mei temo moda rogui marangalikil mei tetrui matei tangartial holding raulir adamrir gilong asire ngal toy makasing kami tu bertiam ruk mo mestri ermeng sala isin matetelir ra agat klangar tir ra sa bolsera adamrir merelang mal mgigrel mei. So this morning I'm very happy and I'm very proud to introduce you, and I'm sure many people, when I mention the name of your dad, they know him. He's known, and I want this, especially this opportunity to see you and to hear you, and for our people also to see you and to hear you, and your life experience. And I'm sure, like me, they'll be so proud, so happy to see you here, and we just hope that maybe our children and their children in US now, including me because I have a son and daughter there, to come someday to connect with their roots and to visit us, So with that, I'm gonna, ask you to, introduce yourself. So starting with this 50-year-old man. Mm-hmm. I did not know Mike has a 50-year-old son. Introduce yourself. We'll just go around.
I'm Michael. Dad's little son. I'll be 50 at the end of the month, so I'm almost 50. From Ohio. That's where my dad came to the States and landed in Marion, Ohio, and went to school there and met my mom and had us kids. We all still live there. I went to school in Ohio in Marion, Harding High School, and then went to DeVry Institute of Technology for Computer Science. Then I jumped around a few jobs consulting for a while, and I landed at Nationwide Financial, and I've been there for 24 years, I think, over 20 years. It's been a long career there. It's been good, and now we're able to, bring our kids, all of our kids. We brought 15 people here.
Including your mother?
Including my mother, yeah. This is her second trip. She brought me in 73. I don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, that was first trip. But I work at Nationwide. I've been there a long time as a consultant. I coach wrestling, youth wrestling, middle school wrestling, high school wrestling. I'm the head high school coach.
Wow.
And I coach soccer. So in the wintertime we do wrestling. In the spring and summer through fall we do soccer. And I'm on our village has a rec board. I'm the secretary of the rec board. So we go through roles and trade roles. So for the rec board, we run the wrestling program, the soccer program, and the pool. We have a local swimming pool. We run that through the community there. I have a wife, Angie, and we have 3 kids. Daughter, Maddie, and then a son, Jackson, and my son, Sawyer, the youngest one.
Wow. So from the oldest to the kid, to the baby in the family.
Yes, I'm the youngest of 4. I'm 42. My dad grew us both up in wrestling, and it was kind of a staple for our childhood. The girls would play basketball and cheer, and we were always very supportive of each other and going to each events that each of us would have and cheering each other on. I have 2 kids, a wife, Brandy. We live right next to everybody else in our county and small village. We're still a very close family. This is my second time here. I'm an industrial maintenance tech for Whirlpool. Right out of high school, I got that job and realized that if you don't better yourself or help something or yourself take you somewhere, you'll stay right where you're at. So I joined the service, and I'd even put a better head on my shoulder, and got a little better job there at that factory to be a maintenance.
Were you in the army or?
Yes. Yes.
Did you go around the world or just U.S.?
Iraq.
Iraq. Yeah.
Wow.
That was it.
Okay. The floor is yours. Yeah.
My name is Mitsuwe. I am the oldest daughter of Mike. I'm 47. I have no children. I graduated from Franklin University in Columbus, Ohio, and I have a bachelor's in management information systems. And I currently do land title work for various different companies and corporations, mortgages, oil and gas. And I also do what we call in the States airship research, where if someone passes away owning land, I track down their heirs to see who owns it.
We know about that here now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very large families, yes. That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay.
Ali, my name is Nicole. I am the 3rd child of Mike's out of the 4. I do have the oldest 2 grandchildren. My daughter, Aaliyah, who is 22. She's completed her schooling as well, graduated from the Ohio State University. And I also have Randall, who is 16. And so he's got 2 more years in high school. I completed my bachelor's through Franklin University as well with an accounting degree, and have worked for the state of Ohio in accounting, a current auditor for 15 years for the state. That keeps me busy currently with the Department of Health. So with COVID, that really kept me busy. We're still auditing a lot of that federal government, money, making sure that it's being used. I also was auditing with workers' compensation for the state of Ohio and for developmental disabilities. So I know all 3 of those agencies.
Well, I kind of sense that there's a common thing about you four. You seem to like your education work is very technical. I see it, and I think it's your grandfather. I think he's Ongalibang. I've been thinking about him this morning and coming here and meeting you. I said, he's I would say like he was one of the first Palauan entrepreneur.
Yes.
First. He was a hardworking man from the village, not from those from Kororo, kind of educated and in big business, but he used to do copra. I don't know, the coconut, you take it and then you grind it and then you dry it and then you sell it. And he was like, in our village, we used to carry, like my father, we go to the dock and then he goes along and he start buying copra all the way and bring to Koror. And he has a warehouse at the dock where he put copra and sell, then they send overseas for oil, So he's very hardworking man. Yeah. He's deaf. He cannot hear, or he have a hard time hearing. And he's so enterprising and so active, hard work. And then so he from SR he was a businessman. He went to Ngrar. They elect him as a magistrate. We call them governor now, in Ngrar. And you know what he did? That time there's no cars, there's no road on Palau. We just go by boat. We call it pat. Then he, in building road there, he realized that he needs a pickup. So he made a bamboo raft like so big, we call it Oluta. Brought it here, put a pickup on top of the bamboo raft, brought it to Ngrar, and he was able to build road there. Amazing guy. Yeah. And he was a magistrate in Ngrar, I was a senator. And then he brought a bunch of old men and councilmen, we call them lawmakers from the village, to the Senate. So when they come, usually we introduce them in the gallery, and then a senator from the village will say, okay, introduce. So senator from Ngrar introduced him. So they stood up and they bowed their head and we clapped them. But that's all they should supposed to, and they should sit because they cannot speak because this is a Senate in session, But then everybody sit, and then he stood and start talking to us, giving us lecture of how we should give them this amount for his budget because it's low, and he justified it. So his senator got so embarrassed, so he said, "Hey, Ongalibang, you're not supposed to speak here." And he said, "What? What did you say?" And then he continue his lecture. So when he finished, I talked to him, and he said, "I knew what you guys were saying, but I want to bring the point to you." So we voted to approve his request, Anyway, that's, I noticed, and I think you guys have, inheritance from him, You got his DNA. And also, one of your uncles, look, they have, Ongalibang has an Atmal, have one of the biggest families in SR. They have a lot of children. They're all very successful, the children. And one of them, a classic one, is my friend Sadara. We grew up, we're almost same age. We grew up in the same village. And he came to Hawaii, I was in school, he came and stayed with me. And a bunch of these boys from SR, 4 of them, they called me from the airport in the middle of the night and they said, "Hey, you have to come and pick us up." I was like 17 or 18. I said, "What? What are you doing here?" I said, "Hey, we're going to the States, but we thought we'll stop by to see you. Because you are our colleagues, we grew up together." So I said, "Oh, I look at it's 11 o'clock. So, okay. So I picked them up. So I said, "Okay, so which hotel are you going to stay?" He said, "Oh, we're just going to park in your apartment and we'll leave tomorrow." So they came and stayed in my apartment. I was a student. They stayed there for over a month. So I said, how can I? You guys have to go. So they all left to move to the other places, and then then he remained. I said, "Sadara, you're not gonna move out." He said, "No, man. we're brothers. We're from the same village. These others are not from other village, but you cannot kick me out. So I said, okay. So I went to look for a job. So I fixed him in a job in one of the hotels in Waikiki. Waikiki is famous, big hotel, to clean the dishes when they finish eating. So he was, and then about 3 months later, I said, hey, you should find your apartment because I cannot afford you. So he said, okay. So he moved out. And then he called me up one time. He said, hey, can you come for dinner at the hotel? I said, oh, really? So I went to dinner. Like he served me steak, I mean, really, with this Italian hotel. And then he was sitting with me. And I saw him giving orders. And then he goes to the kitchen and come back. So I said, Oleg, what are you doing? What's your position? He said, I'm the chef. After that, he became so successful, went to the United States, was like a Hilton, chef traveling around the world fixing food. No education, only high school. So you guys have good DNA.
Yeah, hard work.
Yeah, hard work. So I hope that after this trip, you'll find time to return home and then contribute to us. So your auntie here, Rose, is a colleague of ours. We are pig farmers. And then she's the one who's pushing us, getting us to, and also started me with the pig because I bought small piglets from her. And watch it. It's going to be the biggest industry in Palau. The economic industry in time of pandemic like this, we're poor. We're going to make it the biggest one here. So you've been here for 2 weeks?
Yeah, about.
And so where else have you been in Palau?
Well, I think we've been everywhere. So
Rose, where
We came Lamora. The first day we did the passport, renewed their passport, and did the children's passport. Ongalibangs sa Gimlo visit Rata Marina or Seoul.
Wow.
We took the boat from Jungle River and went down to Seoul.
Oh yeah, he's buried in Rasul.
So they've been to Seoul. Third day, we went to visit Grandma Rangarar, to Quabs, and then to Waterfall, Ngatma Waterfall. So we went around the island.
Wow.
Thursday, we had the Rock Island trip, Palmora, Jellyfish Lake, Milky Way, Cemetery, Shark, Sel Albaba.
Oh, wow.
And then, that was Friday. Saturday, what did we do Saturday? It was a free day. And then Sunday, family reunion, get together families, siblings are Ongalibang there.
Wow. So how many siblings?
There was a lot of Long Island.
Wow. That old man does not know how to read and write. But he's amazing. I mean, he became a businessman in Koror. He also won, this building. He turned into apartment, and then was selling stuff, and then it was burned down. So he went to Ngirmang, and then he built another one. I mean, this guy, and then so I even rented myself for a state office. So he's. I know, you guys are going to succeed. And I'm sure he's going to be very happy if you return, some of you who return to Palau someday and, work especially,
Kim Lormar week, to visit Olgul, Loratab, Ulan Chatab, and Moram sa Waterfall.
Well, you've seen that's all, Wow.
My mom went on all of those too, and she made the steps up and down along that one waterfall was steep, but she made it.
Egi direk Lora Ulbi Rakalulaw visit. House of Delegates, some sogi no apple moradom.
Wow. At Ngirmang there. Wow. It's I'm sure he's upstairs watching us, and he's very happy to see you guys here. I know that's the reason why because you have to come home to see him. And he was, I interviewed him here when he was here 2 times, I think. And as I told you, he started at the Omgasang group, and it was very, when he started, I was I talked to him, I said, it's, I don't know whether this is possible, because I know the attitudes of some elements here, but he really struggled to do it. And he I think he's, when you look at him and then you sit in a place and then he walks in, I mean, that's just a struggle to walk through. And then he really kind of, strengthen, you and, make you believe what he's doing. So we're very, I think he's an unusual person, unforgettable person. When we were young, he was much younger than us, but I noticed him that he was very smart, definitely. He's a unifier. Like when kids were around, and I see that if there's a dispute or younger kids, he gets up to unify, to talk, to make peace, but very smart, so he knows how to do it, what to do. So very special person. I thought, so that's why I'm very happy, and I think your grandfather did something to me that very personal, and I have never discussed it publicly. Ongalibang. My father was a chief of Ngirmang, that post a title. Uludong was a chief. Then when he passed away, then your grandfather became a chief, became that post. And then when he passed away, my father passed away, according to our custom, the relatives of his should provide us with Palauan money and land for his children, because we were adopted children to him. So adopted father has to provide that kind of stuff, because we belong to our mother clan. So once the father died, then father should take care of his children. Because now the children go back to the mother side, but they will continue to be active and then participate in the father's clan if the father provide those, it's like obligation, land and money. This was not done to us. So it was always kind of a grievance I had and my brother, who left to Saipan and forgot Palau because of that kind of situation. So what your grandfather did, one day he called me up and he said, I want to see you, your wife. You make some food and you come. So I said, So we went there, and then he gave me a piece of Palauan money like this to represent his clan and my father's side, to provide for his obligation from men, from father. Man, I cried because it was something like aching in your heart, because he divorced my mother. It was like we were thrown out. But the old man was he was a chief then. And then he did that to me. So I never forget, that shows that's what like a Palauan man, Palauan chief, Palauan head of family should take care of, people. So I'm very grateful. And then I find out that money was money given when the husband of his sister, his oldest sister died. Then the money was given from the husband's side to the widow, which is his oldest sister. And as a brother, he's the one who receives it. So he kept it in his family all these years. And did it to me. So I mean, that old man has and his children have that kind of I don't know, kind of karma or drive. Yeah, active people providing. So as well as your dad, you know. So we're very happy to see you, and then I just need to ask this question. What's your impression? You've gone around, you guys are older people, you're adult now. How do you see this? So how do you see us, you know? How do you see Palau and your auntie, your relatives, the life here?
Well, it's definitely changed since the last time we were here. It's my first word is busy. We're busy now. So I was talking. I mentioned that to Rose or one of my other uncles, somebody. The last time we were here, we were going around passport, Social Security stuff, and a certain office or something, and nobody was there, and they're like, I thought they were open. We're like, well, no, maybe they went to lunch. It's island time. We'll come back. Don't worry about it. And we come back and take care of business, get it done. I'm like, oh, well, they're closing now. Don't they want to go home? They're like, oh, you're here, I'm here. Let's do it. But now, and I kept asking, I'm like, what time is it? Nobody knows. We don't use a watch. Now everybody has a watch. 15 years later, everyone has a watch, and all the streets are busy, and everyone's. So that's the biggest change I've noticed, and it seems to be a lot of construction and a lot of growth right now. A lot of people, more people. But yeah, it's beautiful still. That's good. So.
Do you think you can, when you retire, you can? Come here, because Rose and your family has big land, so
yes, we definitely have that in mind now, and my kids don't want to leave, so of course. So yeah, we have that's a goal. We hope to at least now, and it took a long time to get all 15. We wanted to all come at once and bring the grandkids and have everyone be at a good age, so that. If we waited a few more years, they'll be off out of college. It'll be harder to get everyone together. And a few years earlier, too many of them were babies. They wouldn't appreciate it. So we wanted to all come at once, experience at least once together. And from now on, I'm hoping we'll send, grandkids, somebody over every summer. I know my kids are already fighting for who gets to come next year. So.
Okay.
Definitely a lot of American influence or outside influence. We call the U.S. the melting pot, but I've seen different breeds of dogs here. It's definitely a lot busier. We go visit our aunties, and everybody's headed down to the school to get their kids, which is normal. That's pretty normal anywhere you'd go. The utilities and the electric lines all seem a lot better. Seems like power's ran almost to every place we've been, every house or whatnot. Out in some of the states, still working on the roads, but that's to be expected with the terrain you guys are trying to conquer and pave. Besides that, it's still beautiful, still pristine. Seems like we're doing a great job taking care of the island, taking care of the pollution or whatnot.
That's one thing about Palau. We're very strict on cleanliness, and especially unlike other islands, it's very strict. People get punished, and our kids are trained to, you have to pick up the trash, you have to clean that. Yeah.
That's a big problem in the U.S. everywhere now too, right? All the beaches there, and then even our fields in the middle of Ohio. Right, when I was a kid, you just see snow and leaves in a field line. Now it's nothing but plastic bags, and we're in the middle of nowhere, but they're blowing away from all the other cities from west to east, and there's, you would think, oh, somebody come here and looks like somebody came and dumped their trash. It's just that the wind blows it, and it all gets stuck in the fence and gets stuck there or in a ditch. So yeah, it's pretty bad everywhere else. Yeah, so it's pretty beautiful here still. So.
Well, here one of the as a lawyer, one of the issues we deal with now is the fight of the siblings over land. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially when like parents die, and then they have to trace the heirs, and so, like Palauan women have kids, from different men sometimes. So it's harder. Like sometimes we go to court and then the heir pop up somebody and we have a lot of oldest male get to inherit the property of the mother or father who that they bought, that they buy. They have to inherit. So it's a real big problem. And also to trace the title. It's sold from this one to this one, or from the clan, or from the family. So it's something, we can use your service or your knowledge. So what's your impression?
So my impression of the family is pretty much the same from the last time we were here for our dad's funeral. Everyone was so loving and welcoming and open and feeding us constantly, and even now that we're here, all 15 of us, before it was just the 4 for the funeral, and 15 of us now are here, and everyone is still so very loving, open, welcoming. Come see us, come eat with us. Snacks, and more snacks. And just, everyone wanting to take time out of their days and spend time with us. So, that impression is still imprinted on us from the first time we were here. And for our father's funeral, it was understood. But now that we're here now, to have that same impression, we're very thankful that everyone was able to, take time out of their lives and welcome us as family. And we got to meet so many people. So, we have a good impression of Palau. We definitely don't want to leave. And we definitely will be back. As Mike said, probably not all 15 at one time. But yeah, we'll definitely be back. The big thing I noticed from 2008 till today is it's kind of speaking upon what they said, just the population. But I remember in 2008 when we would fly in from Guam, like we could see the windshield. It was a smaller plane. And now, like, we are, it's a 747. Like, there's more flights coming in. It's becoming a big place.
Yes, as I noticed too, it's a lot of growth. When we were here, I think even the Capitol was very new at the time. That was probably the only black-topped road at the time. So a lot more traffic. So I see that they're doing a lot of, maybe pushing for more safety rules. I saw some people, seatbelt signs, on the main road. So they're starting to push a lot more of the safety rules, so that's good.
And texting, no texting.
Yeah, no texting and driving. I saw that one. So it's good to see that. The bigger you get, the more cars, the things like that, the more safety you'll need.
And also more accident.
Yes, that's why you need to push the seatbelts. So, and in construction, a lot of the construction going on, I guess that's just my workers' comp background, trying to see a little more safety involved with those construction sites I see. But yes, a lot of growth. So with that means a lot of, you need to involve with that growth. You need to make sure you're including those type of safety things too. So being open to all of that. But, even when we're out and about, the wildlife is still there. So that's, even with the growth, you're still maintaining, right, the island, and the wildlife is still there. So.
Well, we are coming to the end of our short show, and then, I want to thank you for this opportunity to know you, and also to have our listeners hear about you. I think it's, Palau is an old society. We go back to thousands of years. And even before Christ, we have we were here. And it's evolved up to this time. We're very few. Unfortunately, some of us have left. Most have died. So, but we're going to be here, and we're here to stay. This is our place, and we have, we want you to return, because I think you see the world and you see your country also in a bit of a chaos now in terms of these problems, political problems and stuff like that. But they have a lot of people there, millions, and we have few people. So you're welcome to return, and I hope you have a good DNA in you, and you come home. We welcome you, and I hope to especially get your children to plan or to think about coming. Eros kumsulang dati bom to sesem,
Tira lulus wasagim lemit tra speaker, vice speaker, chairman talera for breakfast, mungora maling wila alda do ali gim lemit tra president of PCC leng tigal ngal ga sorry was sender ngal galme betil tomo malak class. They can take summer classes or come for one semester sige di ako raw taso. Some online classes.
And the people you meet are all our relatives, same clan. Okay, yeah.
Something in plan, kasi kung sabihin ang galme, lola summer classes vela, college students, elementary students.
Yeah, and what you have done, I was thinking about it. I said, maybe we should do this, like, especially our people in US and in other countries, that they should make time to come, especially with their children. And also, maybe we have devised a program where we can ask to come back with your education, your experience, to come and contribute to, continue to build this society, this country, because we need, especially technicians, these areas that you guys, accounting, land, and then IT, and then maintenance. I mean, we need, maybe, hopefully, with this. Your visit here, we can, really start thinking about it and do it more in a organized, in a formal way, where our government will be involved in it, facilitating, looking for our people and their kids, finding a way to bring them here, and then find, land for them, opportunity, give them license to operate business or to do, that kind of thing. I was thinking about it, So at least your dad will be in heaven and will be so happy to look down and see that his children and grandchildren contribute to Palau in this way.
That was run about 3 businesses. One right next to a high school, Max. He was. I was still very young. I was just swatting beads by the trash can.
Oh, and, Dad was, yeah.
Yeah, Dad had a couple other businesses.
He had many businesses, yeah.
Jim.
He had business?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He bought a apartment building we lived in, had 4 apartments in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now that I did not know.
Signs, yeah.
Vending machines.
Vending machines, pinball machines.
He was always hustling.
Entrepreneur, working very hard.
No wonder, from his father. Wow, interesting. I'm glad you brought that information out. Okay, well.
I think it's time. I love that information, the entrepreneurship. Uncle Ongalibang, I grew up looking at him and all of our uncles who were. So I'm also an entrepreneur at heart. And you mentioned your mom's birthday is today. So I'm going to ask Moses if we can invite our other special guest, Dr. Sylvia Andres Wally. Your father worked with her. So if she can join us, and we'll sing happy birthday for their mom.
What's the name? What's the name of your mom?
Your mom's name?
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Oh, okay.
And Ngirmang, I am so happy. I'm not going to cry. I'm just so happy that we have our Palauan American family here this morning. Sulangero, me. So, Janice, we can sing happy birthday. Cheryl, right?
Cheryl. Yeah.
Cheryl. Tamo kita.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cheryl. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Madri ka katalong itak ko happy birthday. Radio station nagkatangin rin.
Pelawati kesedrar mauwod Lara rupak kal Dios